Hello, we're glad to have you join us on Nationwide today, reaching you live from the nation's capital on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ruth Aguela. Let's begin with electoral matters. The Republic of Chad is preparing for the conduct of parliamentary election, and Iniek in Nigeria has offered to assist. Iniek chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made the offer while receiving a delegation of Iniek in Chad in Abuja.
We went to Nigeria to assist us about the logistic assistance. So, then my country, Chad, has many problems.
They have requested for assistance in the area of voter registration. We'll assist them. They have also indicated their concern in the area of security. There are so many citizens displaced in Chad as a result of the insurgency. We will make available to them our framework for voting by internally displaced persons, hoping that they will also find something useful in that. But I think the most important thing for us at this stage is to, as we have agreed, to set up some discussion at a technical level.
Still on electoral matters, Iniek will not entertain any complaints arising from the conduct of party primaries in the Kogi and Bayelsa state governorship elections in November 16th. Iniek National Commissioner for Information Festus Okoye stated this while speaking to correspondent Mia Ugidi in Abuja.
Kogi and Bayelsa states, shining bright at the political galaxy of Nigeria, as November 16th is the day of political reckoning for the two states to elect their governors. 59 political parties have indicated interest to conduct primaries in Kogi, while 58 in Bayelsa state. Taking a closer look at the two frontline political parties in this context, in Kogi state, 22 political heavyweights have indicated interest, 13 from the PDP and 16 eyeing the APC flag. In Bayelsa state, 21 racing for the party slot, while 7 gunning for the APC blessings. The success of the aspirants is at the mercy of the delegates. From Iniek to the parties, elect their flag bearers between 18th of August to 15th of September 2019 and submit same latest 9th of September 2019, but on these conditions.
If a political party does not conduct party primary elections within the time frame provided in our schedule of activities and in our guidelines, if such a political party submits any list, the commission will not collect. If a political party gives notice that he's going to conduct his party primary elections through direct primaries and goes ahead to go and conduct through indirect primaries, as far as the commission is concerned, that particular political party has not conducted primaries known to law. If a candidate emerges from the process of party primary elections, and after the processes of complaints by political parties has elapsed, the political party, out of a malicious intention, submits the name of a different political person as the candidate, the commission will not collect. So what we have done as a commission is to set up teams of officers from the commission to monitor the conduct of these party primaries.
As the parties are busy with this electioneering and political activities, some electorates will also be busy at Iniek centers from 2nd to 30th of September. Iniek resumes the collection of PVCs in the two states.
We are also going to send bulk SMS to all those who have not collected their PVCs and to tell them to go and collect their PVCs. We are not going to grant any extension whatsoever in relation to this particular election.
After all these pre-election engagements, the candidates that will receive the anointing from their parties will test their popularity on the ballot. Southern Ejod local government area in Bayelsa State and the Kinan local government area in Kogi State will be interesting spots for political pundits because these local government areas gather a great deal of numerical strength that may make or mar the political calculations of some candidates at the November 16th polls in Kogi and Bayelsa State. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
The Kogi State National and State Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has sacked Dino Melaye as senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District. In a split judgment, a three-member panel, the tribunal ordered for a fresh election to be conducted in the district. Smart Adeyemi filed a petition before the tribunal to contest the result, alleging that the process was plagued with irregularities and disorganizations. Two members of the panel agreed with the petitioner and annulled the election, while the chairman of the tribunal gave a minority judgment. The federal government has flagged off the repatriation of Nigerian refugees in Cameroon with the airlift of the first batch of 135 refugees who were indigents of Adamawa State back to Yola, the state capital. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, who doubles as chairperson of the Tripartite Technical Working Group comprising Nigeria, Cameroon and the UN Commissioner for Refugees, supervised the repatriation exercise at the Maroua Salak International Airport in Cameroon in her first official assignment as minister. Mitari Ikban reports.
These Nigerian refugees at the UN transit camp at the Maroua Salak International Airport in the far north region of Cameroon were anxious to return home. Predominantly from the northeast of Nigeria, most of them took refuge in Cameroon since 2013 in the heat of Boko Haram insurgency. Apparently, their infants were born here in Cameroon as refugees. 22-year-old Peter from Adamawa State has lived as a refugee in Cameroon for 5 years.
I didn't believe it that we are go back to our country, but now I see in my eyes they need us in our country. I am happy.
Living in emergency structures as these camp tents, coupled with occasional hostility from natives, are among challenges that make them long to return home.
Our husbands really suffered here, but thank God we are being taken back home.
Their wait is over with the arrival of Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, to flag off the repatriation exercise, beginning with the airlift of the first batch of 135 Nigerian refugees back to Adamawa State.
This repatriation is very key because it demonstrates the willingness and readiness of both countries to support these refugees, to protect them, as well as to bring them back home in safety and in dignity.
The 135 Nigerian refugees, comprising 25 families, arrived Yola, the Adamawa State capital, and are being profiled in a transit camp preparatory to being resettled in their communities.
We were able to receive our indigents back home. Government has made appropriate plans to be able to reintegrate all the returnees back into their respective communities within the shortest possible time that we were able to identify their families.
They are still protected. They have access to services, basic services, education, health.
The federal government says the repatriation will be a continuous exercise based on the achievement of peace in the northeast and the desire of more Nigerian refugees in Cameroon to return home. Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has tasked parastatals under his watch to redouble efforts in the next level agenda for greater achievements. He stated this when heads of parastatals under his ministry paid him a congratulatory visit. Kenneth Nanim reports.
These are familiar faces to the Minister of Information and Culture. If you like, call them the pilots navigating the parastatals and agencies of the ministry. Barely 48 hours after inauguration and resumption of duty by the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, having been reappointed by President Muhammadu Buhari, heads of these parastatals converged on the minister's office to congratulate and reassure him of their commitment towards moving from the change agenda to the next level, ensuring that Nigerians are kept abreast with government policies and programs.
Collectively, we have come to commit ourselves to giving you the same kind of support we had given, and to commit ourselves to carry out our mandate in our respective taps, and to say that we wish you well, we wish our country well, we wish Mr. President well.
Minister Lai Mohammed believes his reappointment by President Muhammadu Buhari is a demonstration of the ministry's achievements in the last 4 years, a feat he attributed to the efforts of the parastatals under the ministry. Therefore, urged them to support him effectively to attain the next level agenda of the federal government.
There was only one reward for hard work. It's actually more work. The president has recognized our modest effort. The only way we can reciprocate is by redoubling our efforts. And in particular, this coterie of DGs hold in their hands the destiny of this country. Because you have a responsibility to tone down the heat.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was also part of the delegation. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Nigeria, on the 21st of this month, marked 3 years of wild polio-free status. On the heels of the event, a Nigerian entrepreneur, Sir Emeka Ofo, is commemorating the event with a dinner, advocating continuous awareness to ensure the polio virus is totally eradicated in the country in order to obtain World Health Organization certification. Sir Emeka Ofo is also using the occasion to appreciate donor agencies and other stakeholders who have contributed their quota in achieving the feat, especially former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Andrew Yang, as he turns 87.
Advocacy has to continue. We shouldn't rest. We should continue all those things we are doing, advocacy, continuous immunization, creating access. If you create access, then children will be immunized. And then we monitor our borders because the virus travels.
The former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations also urged Nigerians to unite in the fight against the scourge and support efforts by the government geared towards development. He also extolled commitment of Nigerians in the diaspora.
They work hard. They solve problems. They're the biggest and tallest on our basketball team. They're the toughest on our football team. Anywhere you see a Nigerian, you better stand up and take notice. Everybody knows Nigerians are to be respected.
Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, was amongst the dignitaries that attended the event. And still on polio, as Nigeria marked 3 years of wild polio virus free this week, stakeholders in the health sector say continuous routine immunization and adequate funding is key to ensuring that no new case of wild polio virus is detected to enable the country get the required certification. This was among the contributions of guests on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, which focused on 3 years of wild polio virus-free status in Nigeria. Olusheye Adiagbo has the details.
We were able to get the World Health Assembly to form the Global Polio Eradication Initiative and make polio eradication a priority. So it's 3 decades more, so we're very, very delighted.
And it means We salute the government, that leadership from the government. We embrace the partnership that help us to move to this level. And importantly, the parents who have taken the responsibility ensure that they protect the children.
The guest describing Nigeria's 3 years without a case of white polio virus as an historical milestone that has set her on the path of being removed from the list of countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan, still with the polio virus are not yet certified by the World Health Organization. Following the August 2016 last case of white polio record in Nigeria's Borno state, the opinion of the guest is that the nation's progress in fighting the disease could also result in the entire 47 countries of the continent of Africa polio-free.
This is only a milestone. Now, even more work is required in terms of intensifying and making sure that we sustain the tempo so that the process of certification, which just kicks in, will be successful.
Dr. Friza Shuaib, Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, gave some indices that has helped the country attain the feat.
The success, though fragile, that we've achieved is the leadership that we've gotten all across levels, from the national level all the way to the vaccinators who have risked their lives, even in the most difficult circumstances, to get to the hard-to-reach areas.
With Nigeria having till March 2020 to get certified by the WHO, the guests gave suggestions on how to sustain the successes recorded.
We need to do more in terms of supplemental immunization or immunization campaigns that are being conducted. We need to do more on the surveillance. We need to do more on outreaches and make sure every child that is eligible should be vaccinated. This should be the target.
They, however, advised parents and caregivers to always cooperate with the vaccinators whenever they come for immunization exercise. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Time now to go on a break. We'll be back, so do stay tuned.
His Royal Highness, the Emir of Gondu, Major General Muhammad Ilyas Bashar, CFR MNI, on behalf of the family of Al-Hajj Muhammad Saad Abu Bakr, CFR MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto, cordially invite the pleasure of friends and well-wishers to the wedding party of Fatima Abu Bakr and Mahmoud Abdullah Yuguda, which will take place at Sultan Bello Jumat Mosque, Sokoto. Date, Saturday, 21st August 2019. Time, 12 p.m. Announcer, Local Organizing Committee.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide.
nationwide. Weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Thank you for staying tuned. Let's now go over to Kaduna Network Center, where Rukaya is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Rukaya.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Kaduna, where we begin with health issues. Kaduna State Government has introduced meningitis vaccination into its routine immunization program to further save children from deadly diseases. The State Deputy Governor, Hadiza Balarabe, flagged off the program in Zaria. Muhammad Umar Ajingi has the story.
Meningitis is a global health concern that affects children and even adults. That is why the Kaduna State government decided to introduce meningitis vaccine into its routine immunization program to bring the disease under control. The Deputy Governor Hadiza Balarabe, while flagging off the immunization exercise at Gelesu Zaria, urged parents and caregivers to visit health facilities or outreach centers provided for their children to get vaccinated.
We want every child in the state to be fully protected from diseases that threaten their growth. The state government will continue to seek enduring partnerships that will ensure a disease-free and protective citizenry.
The Deputy Governor, during an unscheduled visit to Gambaswaba General Hospital at Corper, reaffirms the commitment of the Erufai administration towards taking healthcare services to the next level in the state. Gambaswaba General Hospital is one of the oldest hospitals in the ancient city of Zaria. I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
And away from health, now agriculture, as part of the federal government policy to encourage youth participation in agriculture, about 60 selected youth from Kano and Kaduna State have been trained in the production of commercial farm produce. The program was designed to impart technical know-how in the production of tomato and ginger value chain. Awal Salisu gives us the details.
Tomato and ginger are profitable horticultural crops that provide income to farmers and agents involved in its input supply, production, processing, transportation, and marketing. However, tomato production in Nigeria is short of what is demanded, as the production figure stands at 1.8 million metric tons, while the annual demand is 2.3 million metric tons. The dearth in the demand and supply of tomato and ginger in Nigeria, coupled with the federal government's drive to improve agricultural sector, prompted the National Horticultural Research Institute to embark on training farmers with a view to improving production techniques and value addition.
To create awareness of self-sufficiency, of food security, and self-sufficiency in feeding our nation. Apart from generating employment for our youth, for the women, it can also conserve our foreign exchange earning.
The training, which brought together participants from Kano and Kaduna states, is to equip them with skills and competency necessary on horticultural value chain to ensure sustainable agricultural development, improve income and economic empowerment.
They told us on how tomato and ginger are produced.
The workshop also include advocacy on the importance of adopting good nursery practices in terms of pests and diseases, as well as export competitiveness. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And the need for youth to unite in ideas, knowledge and innovation devoid of religious and ethnic bigotry in the interest of Nigeria took center stage at a youth conference in Dutse, Jigawa State. Ibrahim Bellagunda completes the report.
With their numerical strength, youths have greater role to play in issues of national development and growth. Coming from the above statement of fact, the National Association of Jigawa State Students organized this lecture with the theme, The Nigerian Youth, a Generation and Its Burden. Leading other speakers, the former Minister of State, Foreign Affairs, Dr. Nuruddin Muhammad, advised youth to emulate great leaders who fought for the nation's independence and its unity.
We must square up to face this youth bulge and its attendant consequences on the economy, jobs, social services and security, as well as position ourselves to reap the benefit from its enormous potentials.
feel with this kind of programs, actually, they will actually be awakened. Their responsibility are now translated into what they should be doing. If they don't know, at least someone is ready to come and tell them what they should be doing.
There were goodwill messages from the labor and other youth leaders who harped on the need for recruitment of best brains to teach the younger ones in the institutions of learning. From Dutse, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Kaduna. Benin Network Center is on the standby for continuation of Nationwide.
We'll definitely get to Benin, but let's get some more reports now from Abuja. The Nigerians and Diaspora Commission has expressed concern over the news of court indictment of 80 persons, mainly Nigerians, in various parts of the U.S., being accused in separate FBI cases of massive email fraud and money laundering. A statement from the commission said that accusation does not mean guilt and hopes that all accused will be given fair and speedy trial. It also asked those accused in Nigeria to voluntarily turn themselves in to American authorities to clear their names, without which the Nigerian government should extradite them if relevant international treaties between the two governments are invoked. The commission notes that such have negative effect on the image of the country, but was quick to add that the actions of a few Nigerians involved in criminal activities is not and can never be what the majority of Nigerians are. And now to infrastructure, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has directed contractors handling the Lagos-Ibadan rail project to be more proactive to actualize the December deadline set for the completion of the project. He gave directive on the spot assessment of the project in Lagos. Let's now go over to Benin, where Ogochukwuka is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Ogochukwuka.
Ruth, thank you for joining us. Female participation in politics, along with issues of gender violence, formed the focus of the 6th annual conference of the Edo Women Development Initiative. The conference, attended by different female pressure groups, adopted the theme, Gender Equality in Edo State, Development, Impact and Consequence. Chikodi Obi reports.
The women, drawn from a wide range of groups, agreed to change the narrative by becoming key players in the nation's decision-making.
Whatever affects Edo women also affects other women in Nigeria, because we have a common problem.
We have women who have attained the highest qualifications. How come we don't have anybody at the ends of affairs? So we want to step there.
The chairman of the conference and former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, proposed that educating the girl child is key.
A men-dominated world, you cannot make progress. You have to be able to appreciate the women.
Guest speakers amongst them, the chairperson Conference of Female Parliamentarians in Nigeria and a former speaker at Edo State House of Assembly, urged women to participate in politics.
The message for women that have been physically abused and assaulted is that they should speak up.
We are happy that the governor and the Honorable Attorney General are taking the interests of women in their heart.
If we want to attack and face issues such as gender violence and all these evil things happening in society, we have to be part of the decision-making process.
The Edo Women Development Initiative, a non-profit making organization, reaches out to the vulnerable and less privileged in the society. In Benin, Chikodi Obi, NTA News.
The 2019 Batch B Stream 2 corps members in Edo and Delta states have been urged to take advantage of the various entrepreneurial and skills acquisition trainings in the camps. This was contained in the messages from the Edo and Delta state governors to the corps members during the swearing-in ceremonies. Ubehi Otoba Presai reports.
At the swearing-in ceremony in Okada, Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, through the Commissioner for Youth and Special Duties, advised the corps members to respect the tradition of their host communities. He says through the various human capacity training in the camp, they will be better equipped to becoming self-reliant.
I expect you to be actively involved in the fight against economic crimes, women and children trafficking, drug trafficking, other social vices.
The commissioner and his entourage later inspected the NYSC permanent site, where he disclosed that government's plan to move core members in the state to the permanent site has been concluded. From Delta State NYSC Orientation Camp, Iseluku, Kevin Ubechi reports that a total of 1,732 core members, comprising 950 males and 774 females, took the oath of allegiance to abide by the rules and regulations of the scheme in the next 1 year.
I charge you to take the training in this and other aspects of the orientation course seriously.
Delta State Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa was represented by the Commissioner for Youth Development. The core members are expected to be camped for 3 weeks before being posted to the various local government areas in the states. Obehi Otoba Presai, NTA News.
And now to environment matters. Inhabitants of flood-prone areas in Delta State are being sensitized to early warning signs of flooding and need for evacuation. This step is being taken by the State Bureau for Orientation in a bid to mitigate the effect on the people in the events of flooding occasioned by rising sea level. Austin Edamodo has details.
Delta State has had its share of devastating floods as experienced in 2012 and 2018. Already there are early signs of impending flooding in most communities in the state. The inhabitants of the affected communities are becoming apprehensive.
The government help us. We need help from them. If they can help us, everybody is ready to come out.
The Delta State government, through the Bureau of Orientation, is not taking chances. It has embarked on sensitization tour of the affected areas for possible evacuation.
Has directed the Bureau of Orientation to go into the rural area, riverine areas, to talk to them about what is coming. Delta State government is moving beyond that to set up IDP camps when due. But before that time, the people must get the knowledge that the flood is coming.
This orientation, in collaboration with the local councils and community leaders, will spread across the communities that have been identified as vulnerable. In Asaba, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
The news continues in Abuja as we rejoin Ruth. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Ogochukuka. Now, one of the major focus of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu's second term in office has been the opening up of rural areas through road construction and rehabilitation. The governor stated this as he flagged off the construction of 7 major roads projects in Aba, the commercial nerve center of the state, to give the city a facelift. Correspondent Chinyere Okoli has the details.
The ongoing rehabilitation of Osisi Road in Aba has brought relief to residents and motorists plying the road, as they described the project as life-changing. They are full of praises for Ikpeazu for awarding the contract meant to open up the area for full commercial activities, as against the situation in the past, where businesses were crippled due to the very deplorable state of the road.
In short, I'm very happy about the road. The construction is now being done very well.
The contractor handling the project assured that the 2.7-kilometer Osisi Road will be handed over alongside the already completed 3.4-kilometer Umuoba-Umwena Isialongo South before the end of August. Governor Ikpeazu had earlier flagged up what he called Clean Aba program and the rehabilitation of several artery roads in Aba and Umuahia, stating that within the next few days, he would intervene in other major key areas, including waste management, as well as security and agriculture for food security. In Umuahia, Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
As part of efforts to contribute its quota to nation building, a non-governmental organization, Gajia Charity Foundation, has empowered 60 selected Almajiris in both formal and non-formal education. Nguse Peva reports from Maraba, Nasarawa State, that 12 out of 60 Almajiris selected are already receiving training in tailoring and embroidery.
Almajiri, which originally came to be due to the desire of some parents to have their children trained in Quranic and Islamic education, sent these children to other states with the belief they will learn better away from home. The good intention has now become a menace to the society, as most of the Quranic teachers are overwhelmed with the number of pupils to cater for, in addition to their immediate families. These children therefore move into the street to beg for food. It is against this backdrop that Gajia Charity Foundation decides to empower some of these Almajiris in tailoring and embroidery.
This is basically a humanitarian job, and anybody can do it. As far as we are Nigerian, we are helping our brothers. We want to see them well, we want to see them live well, we want to see them become something in the society.
The Gajia Foundation sponsored me and paid me all the money and go and pay the school authority and collected my result.
The empowerment scheme favors those from ages 12 and above. From Maraba, Nguse PV, NTA News.
And now to religious matters. Introduction of Islamic political thoughts into university curriculum is identified as the best way of appreciating the contributions of the past Islamic scholars in the teaching of Islamic political thoughts in the country. Correspondent Ibrahim Jibrin reports that this took center stage at the Northeast Workshop on Teaching Islamic Political Thoughts at Gombe.
The two-day workshop organized by Triple IT Nigeria in conjunction with the Departments of Political Science, Gombe State University, and her counterpart, Federal University, Kashere, brought together participants from universities across the Northeast Nigeria. In a lecture titled Islam, Politics and Good Governance, Reflections on the Sokoto Caliphate in the Contemporary Nigeria, Professor Salisu Shehu went down memory lane to remind participants on the contributions of Usman Danfodio and his family in teaching Islamic political thought, calling on universities to inculcate in their curriculum to reawaken students on the need to jointly incorporate their specializations with Islamic perspective for good governance.
Allah says, "Qul Allahumma malik al-mulki." You will think that this is nothing. This is telling you about the ontological and metaphysical dimensions of power and politics.
Professor Al-Hassan Mohammed Ghani, Vice Chancellor, Federal University, Kashere, and representative of the Vice Chancellor, Gombe State University, said the lecture is timely as it will enable students to know the efforts made by the Islamic scholars in the promotion of Nigerian education system in the past. In Gombe, Ibrahim Jibrin, NTA News.
Truth, they say, is sacred, and it is the duty of journalists to bring the truth out of any issue before it has been published or broadcast. This formed the thrust of an interactive workshop on broadcasting and investigative journalism in Nigeria. Fatima Aliyu reports that the workshop is aimed at ensuring balanced reportage in the country.
Was a convergence of veteran broadcasters, media chief executive, practicing and prospective journalists. The array of the panelists puts into perspective the role of broadcasting in promoting and defending the country's democracy, encouraging investigative journalism through evidence-based, and keeping the process of governance accountable.
Investigative journalism, notwithstanding its difficulties and challenges, is important because it is a merit and advantage to the public interest.
It requires a lot of research. It may be hazardous, but it is achievable.
If you are to count the years of experience of the resource persons that are here, it would be in so many digits. And then the vast knowledge they have and the knowledge they have shared, again, is quite valuable.
Participants at the workshop shared their experience.
This will enable the new crops of journalists, as well as the ones that are already practicing, to be able to delve into issues that are majorly of public interest.
What kind of resources you need as an investigative journalist in order to be able to do impactful stories that will change the course of development.
Convener of the workshop, Professor Umaru Pati, said the session is crucial, especially in the information era, often characterized by fake news.
For us to have quality democracy in Nigeria, we must be ready to go into real investigative journalism to make those who are in power accountable.
The workshop, supported by MacArthur Foundation, is aimed at reawakening the spirit of investigative journalism at the level of training and practice in Nigeria. In Kano, Fatima Aliyu, NTA News.
Thank you, Fatima. Nigeria needs to tap into the evolving trends embedded in the area of artificial intelligence and automation, as it is transforming all spheres of human endeavor and breaking new grounds in research and development. This was the focus of lecture delivered by Dr. Diri Awosika at the 14th Annual Research and Conference Fair at the University of Lagos. Amaka Owo reports.
It was an international conference of the humanities and sciences with the theme Automation and Artificial Intelligence, Opportunities for the 21st Century, Research and Development. It was organized to bridge the gap between research and governance, contrary to the opinion that imbibing artificial intelligence and automation might lead to loss of jobs.
Universities are already employing AI applications that can improve student retention. Some schools and colleges are testing advanced analytics and machine learning to identify students in trouble and offer them support before they drop out.
The university is supposed to solve problems that are going on in the country. And what we are doing now is demand-driven research work.
Other participants are of the view that expanding research innovation in artificial intelligence and robotics from prototype to commercialization will contribute to national development. Over 200 exhibitors showcase various innovation. The event will also feature a para session and fair in the next 2 days. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NT News.
And now to security, the Nigerian Air Force says it has continued to record success in airstrikes being conducted under Operation Green Sweep 3. In a statement by NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola says the latest of this is the destruction of a Boko Haram terrorist logistics base and assembly area at Bula Bello on the fringes of the Sambisa Forest in Borno State. The operation was executed on 22nd August 2019 after intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions revealed that the settlement was being used by Boko Haram elements as a staging area to launch attacks against troops. Consequently, the Air Task Force dispatched 2 Alpha jets and an Mi-35M helicopter to attack the identified buildings within the settlement where Boko Haram fighters were seen and scored direct hits on the desired points of impact with total destruction in a follow-on strike by the Mi-35M attack helicopter. The Kebbi State Police Command has paraded suspects in connection to various criminal offences in the state. The State Police Commissioner Garba Mohammed Danjuma said the suspects will be brought to justice to serve as deterrent. Noura Tanko Wakili tells us more.
Paraded were suspects of various criminal conspiracies and culpable homicide, including a young woman alleged to have conspired with her former husband to kill her new husband with a view to returning to the former husband. Also arrested was a gang of local vigilante members from Fake local government area of the state who arrested, killed and set ablaze 2 Fulani herdsmen suspected to be kidnappers without recourse to justice system.
The 7 suspects were arrested and have confessed to the alleged crime. Such nefarious act is condemnable and cannot be tolerated.
The command also busted and arrested many armed robbery gangs, including a gang specialized in impersonation and car theft. CP Garba Muhammad Danjuma also disclosed that the police has arrested Gwan Ibrahim Omaru, alleged to have raped a 7-year-old girl in Nufawa village of Jege local government area of the state. The police commissioner said these and other criminals arrested will be charged to court after investigations. The police commissioner solicited for the continued support of the public to make Kebbi State safe and secure.
We should continue to partner to maintain our status as the safest state in Nigeria.
The Kebbi State Police Command has in recent months embarked on raiding various criminal hideouts across the state, which led to some of the successes recorded. In Birnin Kebbi, Noura Tanko Wakili, NTA News.
And for more reports on security, we go over now to our Sokoto Network Center. And Noura Tanko Wakili again will be our guide. Hello, Noura.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Sokoto. The Sokoto State Police Command has intensified efforts to rescue a kidnapped member of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Aminu Magaji Baudai. Sheikh Muhammad Datti reports.
The member representing Dengeshuni constituency, Aminu Magajibode, was kidnapped in the earlier hours of Thursday by unknown gunmen who stormed his residence at Bode village. The Sokoto State Police Public Relations Officer Muhammad Sadiq Abubakar said the anti-kidnapping unit of the command is currently combing the area to rescue the lawmaker.
The cases of attacks and kidnappings as used to be in the past is not what it is today. It has reduced drastically. So that should tell you that the police is not just sitting with folded arms. It is working day and night to ensure that all these criminal activities become history in the state of Sokoto.
This is the second serving member of the Sokoto House Assembly kidnapped this year. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Zamfara state government says it will soon embark on rehabilitation and provision of basic infrastructure at the state NYSC permanent orientation camp Safe to make it more conducive for the core members. The state deputy governor Almajiri Ali stated this shortly after inspecting the camp. Jamil Ibrahim has more.
Ready for inspection, Your Excellency.
The Zamfara State NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp Safe was inaugurated in 2003 with the capacity to accommodate more than 3,000 core members at a time. The current sorry state of structures at the camp has, however, adversely affected its capacity and the atmosphere of conducting the periodic orientation exercise for core members posted to the state. It is against this backdrop that the State Deputy Governor Almajiri Ali paid an inspection visit to the camp with a view to assessing the situation. He was conducted round by Zamfara State NYSC Director Malam Danhusi Mohammed. The State NYSC Director identified lack of hostels and social amenities as well as substandard clinic and kitchen as their major challenges in the camp. Zamfara State Deputy Governor, who expressed concern over the situation at the camp, stated the state government's commitment toward addressing the problems.
If we fix some of the hostels, more core members will come and we can get more teachers and more doctors that will help the state and help the state grow as well.
The State Deputy Governor had earlier addressed the 2019 Batch B Stream 2 core members who are currently undergoing orientation exercise at the camp, where he assured them of their safety throughout the period of their stay in the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Sokoto is backed in Abuja for the continuation of the Nationwide.
Thank you, Noura. Right now, let's go on a break. Nationwide continues shortly, so stay tuned.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for staying tuned. President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja Sunday for Japan to participate in the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development from August 28th to 30th, 2019. A statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari will be participating for the second time, having attended TCAT 6 in Nairobi, Kenya in 2016, with the theme Africa and Yokohama, sharing passion for the future. President Buhari will deliver Nigeria's statement during plenary session 3, in which he will appraise Nigeria-Japan relations and takeaways from TCAT 6. The president will also attend other major on-site events in Japan and hold bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Abe, meet chief executive officers of some Japanese companies with huge investments in Nigeria, formed in 1993. TCAT is the largest international conference held in Japan that provides an open forum that generates innovative discussion among various stakeholders on African development. President Buhari will be accompanied by governors Babagana Zulum, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, and Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Borno, Kwara and Lagos states, ministers and other top government officials. The president is expected back in Nigeria on Saturday, August 31st. And still on the presidency, in furtherance of his strategic consultation with the broad spectrum of the Nigerian society towards finding lasting solutions to the challenges of security confronting the country, President Muhammadu Buhari has engaged Northern Monarchs for more inputs. The president pleaded with the royal fathers to genuinely do their part in securing Nigeria as his administration sustains efforts at tackling and dealing with all forms of unlawful and criminal activities. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Up next is Sports Update.